Hello everyone. Let's study English together. Listen to a story, and you can practice your English easily. In the small town of Willow Creek, coffee was more than just a drink. It was a language that brought people together, a ritual of warmth and connection that wove through the fabric of daily life. This is the story of Emma, a young woman with a deep love for coffee and a curious mind eager to explore the world beyond her quaint hometown. Emma had always been fascinated by the aroma and mystery that accompanied each freshly brewed cup of coffee. As a child, she would watch her grandmother carefully grind the coffee beans every morning, filling the house with an inviting scent that promised comfort and stories of long-ago days. Her grandmother's coffee rituals were filled with wisdom and gentle humor, and as Emma grew older, these memories became the foundation of her own journey into the world of coffee. After graduating from college with a degree in literature, Emma decided that her love for storytelling and coffee could be intertwined. She left Willow Creek and embarked on a journey to discover the origins of her favorite beverage. Her adventure began in a bustling city, where she found work at a charming little coffee shop tucked away on a narrow side street. The cafe, called The Roasted Bean, was run by a jovial man named Carlos, who had traveled the world collecting rare coffee recipes and learning the art of roasting. At The Roasted Bean, Emma immersed herself in the craft of coffee making. Each morning before the first rays of sunlight touched the cobblestones outside, she would rise early to help prepare the day's brew. With each steaming cup that passed through her hands, she began to notice the subtle differences between various beans, the unique stories behind each blend, and the deep connection between a coffee's origin and its flavor. Carlos often shared his own tales of adventure, from the sun-drenched coffee farms of Colombia to the misty highlands of Ethiopia. His words were like seeds that blossomed in Emma's mind, inspiring her to continue her quest for knowledge. One crisp autumn morning, while tidying up the shop, Emma found an old, weathered journal hidden behind a shelf. The journal belonged to a mysterious traveler named Antonio, who had once roamed the world in search of the perfect coffee bean. Antonio's entries detailed his encounters with farmers, his struggles with unpredictable weather, and the beauty he found in every cup of coffee he tasted. Emma was captivated by his descriptions and decided that she must follow in his footsteps. Her journey led her first to the verdant hills of Colombia, where coffee plantations stretched out like emerald seas beneath a radiant sky. In a small village nestled among the hills, Emma met Lucia, a passionate coffee farmer whose family had been cultivating coffee for generations. Lucia welcomed Emma with open arms and introduced her to the entire process, from planting and harvesting the coffee cherries to drying and roasting the beans. Under the bright Colombian sun, Emma learned to appreciate the intricate balance of nature and human endeavor that went into each bean. Lucia explained that every step of the process was a dance with nature, requiring respect for the land and the wisdom of the elders. As Emma listened, she realized that coffee was much more than a beverage. It was a celebration of life, growth, and tradition. Eager to learn more, Emma journeyed next to Ethiopia, the birthplace of coffee. Here, she found herself in a land of ancient traditions and breathtaking landscapes. In a small village at the foot of the Simien Mountains, Emma was invited to a traditional coffee ceremony. The ceremony, rich with symbolism, began with the roasting of green coffee beans over a small fire, releasing a fragrance that seemed to tell the story of the earth itself. The host, a kindly elder named Bekele, carefully explained each step of the ritual. "Coffee," Bekele said, "is the elixir of the gods. It binds us to our ancestors and to nature in ways that words can scarcely describe. As Emma sat among the villagers, sipping the delicately spiced brew, she felt a profound sense of unity and peace. The ceremony was not merely about the drink. It was a moment to honor tradition, share stories, and acknowledge the simple pleasures that life offered. With her heart full of gratitude and her notebook brimming with new insights, Emma continued her exploration. Her travels then took her to the sunlit islands of Java in Indonesia. In a small coastal town, she met Arif, a master roaster whose family had passed down the secret art of coffee roasting for centuries. Arif's workshop was a blend of science and magic, a place where the beans transformed under his careful watch into a symphony of flavors. Over days filled with hands-on lessons, Emma learned how temperature, timing, and technique could change the very soul of the coffee. Arif's passion was infectious, and his ability to balance tradition with innovation left a lasting impression on her. "Every bean has a story," he said one day as they sat outside the workshop, watching the sun set over the ocean. "Our job is to listen and let it speak through the brew." That evening, as the sky blazed in hues of orange and purple, Emma understood that the journey of coffee was a mirror of life, ever-changing, unpredictable, and deeply personal. Inspired by the lessons learned from each region, Emma returned to her home country with a new mission: to share her experiences and the rich culture of coffee with others through her writing. Back in Willow Creek, she reopened a small cafe, which she named A Cup of Life. The cafe was a place where the stories of coffee and the art of storytelling converged. Every cup of coffee served was paired with a tale, a narrative about the farmers who nurtured the beans, the communities that celebrated the harvest, and the traditions that enriched every sip. Emma's Cafe quickly became a hub for conversation and learning, where people from all walks of life gathered to enjoy the warmth of a well-crafted brew and the beauty of shared stories. In the quiet moments before the cafe opened each day, Emma would reflect on her journey. She realized that her adventure had been more than just a search for the perfect coffee bean. It had been a journey of self-discovery. Coffee had taught her about resilience and the importance of connecting with nature, culture, and community. It had shown her that every flavor, every aroma, held memories and emotions that transcended borders and time. Over the years, A Cup of Life grew into more than just a cafe. It became a symbol of unity and exploration. Local writers, artists, and travelers would often gather to exchange ideas and celebrate the shared passion for coffee and culture. Emma organized monthly storytelling nights where people could read poems, share anecdotes, and even perform songs inspired by the humble coffee bean. These gatherings nurtured creativity and reminded everyone that life's most profound lessons often came from the simplest pleasures. One chilly winter evening, as Emma prepared a new blend of coffee in the warmth of her cafe, she received a letter from an old friend named Michael. Michael, a renowned travel writer, had heard about her journey and the success of her cafe. In his letter, he invited her to participate in an international conference on coffee and culture. This conference, he explained, was a gathering of experts, farmers, writers, and enthusiasts from around the world who shared a passion for coffee. Emma felt both honored and excited. She realized that her small step into the world of coffee had blossomed into a global movement of storytelling, connection, and cultural appreciation. At the conference, Emma found herself surrounded by a mosaic of voices and perspectives. She shared her own experiences, recounting the vibrant fields of Colombia, the sacred ceremonies of Ethiopia, and the innovative spirit of Java. In turn, she listened to others' stories, each as unique and enriching as her own. The event was a celebration of diversity, unity, and the simple magic that happens when people come together over a shared passion. Emma's heart swelled with gratitude as she saw how coffee could bridge differences and create a community that transcended language, culture, and borders. As Emma continued to weave her narrative, she realized that her journey was far from over. Coffee, with its myriad flavors and stories, would always be a part of her life. Each cup was a reminder of the countless hands that had nurtured the beans, the lands that had cradled them, and the hearts that had embraced their story. Emma learned that the beauty of coffee lay not only in its taste but in its power to connect people, to spark conversations, and to remind us all of the small joys that make life so precious. In the end, a cup of life was more than just a place to drink coffee. It was a testament to the enduring spirit of adventure and the timeless tradition of storytelling. Through her journeys, Emma had discovered that every cup of coffee held a universe of stories waiting to be told. And as she sipped her brew each morning, she knew that with every sip, she was not only nourishing her body but also feeding her soul. Emma's story, like the perfect blend of coffee, was a delicate balance of bitter and sweet, a narrative that taught her to savor every moment and appreciate the intricate tapestry of life. In every conversation and every shared cup, she found a piece of herself, a reminder that the journey of discovery is as rich and rewarding as the destination itself.